Once again, we'd like to welcome everyone to Randy and Candy Yao's Extreme Desire podcast, where we meet, talk, learn, and hear from some of the legends and people in the real world of hunting, where we keep things down to earth with real people. Okay.
Today we are here with Troy Corum.
That's me.
Yeah, and he's from Benchmade. He's a representative of Benchmade, and his better half, Shelly Letson.
That's me.
And of course, Candy and I. So we're just going to have Troy basically give us a little rundown of a little bit about Benchmade and how he actually got the
gig there at Benchmade.
Yeah,
his stardom.
So, this is 9 years ago. Actually, now they probably more about 9.5 years ago. They actually came to a place where I was working and part owner in, which was called Threat Dynamics. We trained handguns for simulation and stuff. But anyway, Benchmade brought their guys out, did a training session out there for a little team building event, and I was one of their trainers, and kind of fell in love with each other. And 6 months later, they kind of came to me and said, "Hey, we got this position open. We kind of want to know if you have anybody that might fit the bill."
So what position is that?
That was the law enforcement coordinator, sales coordinator.
because you're in law enforcement.
Because
Right.
I've been with Portland PD as a reserve sergeant for the last 13, 14 years now. So that's kind of a good fit because I wasn't full-time police officer, so I wasn't getting paid, but I had the experience in the background to do the sales for them. So that's kind of what they were looking for. So I went ahead and accepted that position, and 9 years ago, and it's been a great job. I mean, Benchmade, they're such a great family-owned company. Les and Roberta or Diosas are they're two gems. I mean, they're just great people, and they're fun to work for. They take great care of their employees. So it's been a journey, but it's been a great journey.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like I say, Benchmade's been with us and helped us with our show and sponsored us for a long time, and then they got involved with the ladies' camp and everything, and so they've been great. Matt Elliott, I mean, that's what's amazing with me is with Benchmade, everybody, and most of our sponsors the same way. It seems like with the close-knit family, and I've become
really
just good friends. I was like, Matt, no matter what happens, he's always going to be an incredible friend to me, and you guys have become the same way. But
I'll never forget the first time we took a tour of Benchmade, and I've worked in, assembly line type things before. Right. And I know that when the people who work on the floor and the people in the office, usually there's a huge gap between. Yeah. And I just was in awe of how that's not there. Yeah.
Benchmade really tries to break down what we call silos. We try to break down those silos so the people in the management, upstairs aren't frowned upon by the people on the floor that are actually doing all the hard work. We don't forget that at Benchmade that, sometimes the higher you go, the less you do. Mm-hmm. And
they talk about the boots and the suits.
Right, the boots and the suits. And I tell you what, when I'm on the road and I travel a lot for Benchmade, all over the country for law enforcement shows, the first thing I tell people is the people on the floor, the people making our knives, and our people in customer service are absolutely the best that you have. I mean, out in the West, we talk a lot about like Les Schwab for customer service and stuff. I don't think Les Schwab can even hold a candle to Benchmade because Benchmade really puts that forward.
They do.
Oh yeah, I mean it's like
so
their
obvious.
Life, even the Life Sharp and all that stuff. I mean, we were talking yesterday about that. Like, how many knives do you get back a day to resharpen and and it's all
these are all going back with Troy.
Yeah, these are
they
all
need sharpened.
These actually are coming back with me.
All the family and friends and we're hard on stuff, but
that's the great thing about Benchmade is when you send your knives back to product services, they not only just these are all fixed blades, so they're pretty easy, but folders
there's one
and
folder
stuff.
there.
There is a folder over here.
Come
so
on now.
we don't just sharpen them and send them back to you. I mean, they take them apart, they clean them up, they make sure everything inside is perfect, that it's tuned and adjusted right. They oil it, adjust it, and then they'll sharpen it, put it back together, and send it back to you at no charge. So I mean, it's pretty hard to beat.
Oh, I guess
Pretty hard.
The last maybe it's that folder there. I don't know, but that I sent it back once. The night the blade was broken.
Well, quit
Everything was
breaking your
just
blades.
everything was tore up. I use them for pry bars and all
Yeah.
kinds of things. I shouldn't.
I've seen that.
So anyway, I sent it back and I get a new. Basically, they said they remanufactured it. No, I got a new knife. I mean, seriously, it was a piece of junk. Sides were gone. I mean,
Yeah, they.
so anyway, that's pretty.
We take care of them and we fix them up and send them back to people, and that's what keeps people coming back. That's what separates Benchmade from, Brand X.
Yeah.
It really is.
Oh, and it's in the quality of blade and the way they hold their edge and stuff is amazing. But great
It really
knife.
is. We use them hard.
Very hard. Yeah.
So we take care of a lot of animals in a year, and
Yeah, I know you do.
and without quality products like that, there's no way. We just have to go through a whole lot more knives than that.
Right. Well,
And-
a lot of it, is just in the steels and the materials that we use. Benchmade, they just use the top quality steels. I mean, with the new hunt line, like the new Altitude, that S90V.
Yeah, that one.
It's just an incredible steel. Yeah. I mean, it's that next level of steel that it's not going to get dull on you, and it's going to do the animal that you need.
Yeah, we
it to
used
do.
that this year. This little guy, and we flat put it through the
We did.
rams. It's very lightweight. It's a great another one to have in your pack for different things. But
To look at that knife, you wouldn't think it would do anything.
I
Yeah, it's
know,
cool.
but
No,
it's tough.
light.
Yeah.
And,
That's where that quality steel comes in. Is that
Yeah.
S90V? It's an incredible steel for sharpness and edge durability. So it's a hard use knife with a kind of a replaceable blade edge. It's just that sharp, but it's still a hard use knife. And
Right,
You're not
right.
going to break it. So, yeah.
well, that's cool. So you two, I mean,
Yeah, tell us a little bit
obviously-
about how you met. I mean, this is a story.
Well, it's pretty funny. He was in upstate New York on business, and we met in a restaurant, and he came into the restaurant, and of course I was with my 4 friends, and we met online. So we met at this restaurant.
There's trouble.
Doing
there.
it the safe way right there.
Yeah,
I like it.
and I told him, if you meet me, you need to meet my 4 friends. And he was like, "Are you kidding me?" I'm like, "No, safety in numbers here."
There you go.
So,
Be smart.
Yeah. So he walked up to the table and he was like, "So, which one of you are my date?" He knew it was me because he saw my picture, but he was trying to break the ice. And from that time on, my girlfriends loved him.
I thought maybe I could date like all 4 of them.
Right?
Right.
That didn't work out.
You weren't nervous, huh?
No.
I'd have been shaking like a dog crap peach pits.
So the next night he asked me out for dinner, and I don't know he's from Portland yet. So the next night he's like, "You want to go to dinner?" And I'm without your 4 friends. I'm like, "Sure, we can do that." So we go out to dinner, and I don't ask him at all till the end, "Where are you from?" So at the end of dinner, I'm like, "So where are you from?" He goes, "Portland." I said, "Portland, Maine?" He said, "No, it's even worse, Portland, Oregon." And I was like, "Wow, where are we going with this?"
Across the country.
Across the country.
So long story short, we long distance for a year, and then I said, "I think it's time for somebody to move." And he was like, "Okay."
Oh, boy.
And I said, "I think that should be me because I'm more free than you. You have a great job at Benchmade. I'm a nurse, and I could get a job anywhere." And he was like, "You really think you could get a job?" Yeah.
Well,
So
She's like, I'll have a job in a week.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Week later, I call him. I said, "I have a job." And he was probably crapping his pants.
I
Like,
was.
she's really going to move
Oh,
here
yeah.
now.
Seriously?
Oh,
Oh,
boy.
I was kidding. I was just kidding.
Really? I didn't
It was
know
just
she was
testing.
serious about it.
And so then I ended up moving here a couple months after that, and now we're engaged. And
Oh,
Very
we're
cool.
so excited.
yeah, so
We absolutely love these two.
yeah,
So-
so that's how we met, and it was awesome. And never thought I'd find myself going from the East Coast to the West Coast.
Right?
That was a big move, but
Big move.
I don't have to shovel snow anymore, so that's an awesome thing. And I don't have to shovel rain, so
Yeah,
know?
well, yeah.
it's
You
okay.
just got to wipe the mold off everything.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, that's all right.
Ugh.
But it's beautiful out here.
Yeah.
So we ran into you guys a year ago at the ATA show, was introduced by Matt Elliott, and he said, "These guys are super cool and they're lots of fun." But we never got a chance to experience that until this past year at our Utah ladies hunting camp.
So much fun.
This was the rep that they sent.
Yeah, except me.
So, and I don't know, it's one of them friendships that suddenly you just felt like you've known them your whole lives.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah, that's
we
Pretty much.
instantly we're best friends. So
Yeah,
Matt
just
was
they have
correct.
Oh yeah, and it's awesome.
Yeah, no, they're a lot of fun, and well, that's the neat thing. It's like I say, Matt become a good friend. They sent Maddie out to the Oregon camp, and amazing little gal from Benchmade. She's out there. What can I do? First thing I know, she's in there harassing a good friend, Robert Bonine, and him and her were
Cooking.
going at it, and they're cooking and washing dishes and having a great time together. And
She
like,
even
wow.
cut herself with her own Benchmade knife. I
Yeah.
mean, who does that, right?
Yeah, hey, Maddie. Yeah, you did.
We're not getting away with that one.
Yeah, you stabbed your own self and tried to hide it.
It was cute.
We always try to hide it.
Oh, yeah.
You always-
This isn't
you
my
always know the
blood.
guy- yeah.
And it's like dripping.
You always know the guy who cuts himself in a show because he cuts himself. He pinches it real quick, puts it in his pocket.
Yeah.
I'm like, you want a Band-Aid? No, I'm okay. Until it starts soaking
Then
through.
you need
Right.
stitches.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you need stitches.
Yeah, yeah. And super glue, that's what I use
But,
now.
you
Yeah.
know, at Benchmade, we play with enough knives that sooner or later you're going to get cut.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I mean, I've
Exactly.
done it a
They're,
few
I
yeah.
have.
You can shave with them.
I
you know.
had
Yeah.
stitches from my knife.
Candy,
Oh, wow.
Candy shaves her back and chest with them.
I do. I have a serious
night.
problem with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It is amazing. It's a sight, I tell you.
That it is.
Goodness.
So, yeah, so she moved out to Oregon a year after we met. So that's like 4 years ago now.
Yeah. Oh, you know.
Yeah.
So
I know.
He
proud
just
of
got
you.
a brownie point.
So
that?
proud of you.
Keeping track of that.
Yeah.
So she moved out to Oregon. And, you know, of course, I'm a big archery guy. And I like to use a boomstick, too. But, you know, I like to shoot the bow. And she would come with me when I would start shooting 3D.
Because she hadn't hunted much.
No, she'd never
I didn't
hunted in her
hunt it at
life.
all.
And she never picked up a bow or a rifle. So I invited her out to go shoot 3D. And she'd just watch. You know, she'd walk around the course with me. And after the first time, she's like, you know, I think I'd like to try this. She goes, I don't want to shoot an animal. I just want to shoot a bow. I'm like, perfect.
The fake animals were okay.
The fake
Yeah,
animals.
fake
okay.
animals were
So
good.
Okay, that's good.
I went to Bowtech and I got her the new Eva Shockey. No, I take that back.
No.
I got her the Fuel.
The Fuel was my
And
first
it was
one.
just kind of an entry level. And she shot that for about 3 days and decided she needed something better.
Like a Matthews.
Right? Like
Just kidding.
So-
That was a joke.
So, yeah.
Anyway.
So she got the Eva Shockey and she started shooting bows again. And she would go home and she would shoot every day.
Uh-huh.
Like 50
That's
yards
what you
in the
need.
backyard.
That's what it takes
And
right
she
there.
was just obsessed. I was
Becomes
like, need to slow down, lady. You're going to pass me.
That's what he
So-
was afraid
I
of.
know,
Right.
Exactly.
We shot that whole summer, and she just loved it. I mean, she was,
It was so much
like
fun.
anything new. I mean, she just took to her like a fish takes to
Yep.
water. And at the end of that year, she's like, you know, I think I could shoot a deer. I'm like, oh boy, here goes my hunting season. so I'm like, okay.
No, don't be honest.
Yeah, right. But it was like, oh wait, now, I got this is a whole nother thing. You know, I never had kids, so I never had that opportunity to bring a child up and teach them how
You're
to
calling
hunt.
her a child. Well, she's not much taller than a child,
Well,
but she's
Yeah.
she's kind of short, but
A little bit. Just a
so
little bit.
I mean, I was excited
Vertically
about it,
challenged.
you know, because she wanted to
No.
hunt deer. She had absolutely no interest in shooting an elk. So that was my saving grace.
Was.
So we took her out to the ranch, and we went deer hunting, and she was lucky enough, and she shot that deer. And since then, it's like that's all she wants to do.
yeah.
Now I want to shoot an elk. Now I want to shoot a moose. Now I
Yeah.
want to shoot a caribou.
It does that to
Now I
you.
want to shoot an animal.
But didn't she end up shooting this elk?
oh,
Yes, we need to hear this story. I think
this
I've
is-
heard
this
this
one makes
once
me
before.
laugh.
It's quite comical.
This is a good story. I got to tell you. So you can go ahead and start, but I'm going to interject in the middle of it. There's
Be
points
nice,
that need to
okay?
Oh, yeah, I'll be nice.
So we were over in Ukiah, and we were hunting in a tree stand.
Don't tell them where we were hunting.
oh,
That's
yeah.
secret.
Rule
Up
one.
road
Sorry.
007.
Up-
We
007.
were hunting in Portland, and, and we were
From
in
the
a,
balcony.
yeah, in a double tree stand, and I had never sat in a tree stand before. So Troy sat with me in the morning. Well, the afternoon, I said, you know, I think I could sit here by myself, but you're going to have to come back and get me at dark because
She's a
I
scaredy
am
cat.
not getting out of this tree stand
Right.
without you being there. He was like, are you sure you're going to be okay sitting here? And I'm like, sure, I'll be fine. He's like, all right.
And
so,
now, all the time when I sat there, we had trail cameras on this. It's on a wallow, and had been a mama bear and 2 cubs that had been frequenting the wallow. And so I was like, "No, you okay?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm fine. So go ahead."
So he puts me in the tree stand. He leaves. He's not even gone 10, 15 minutes. And I hear this noise, and I look down, and holy shit, there's a bear underneath my tree stand. So I'm like, oh, my God, what am I going to do? How do I do this? Oh, my God. So I start jumping up and down.
Yuck.
We don't do this. So I start jumping up and down in my tree stand.
Oh.
Get out of here. And I'm yelling at this bear. Get out of here. Go. In the meantime, I've got the radio in my hand. I'm like, Troy, you need to get here right now. There's a bear under my stand. And he was like, okay, all right. So in the meantime, I'm stomping away. The thing finally runs away. Well,
And you got to know, this is prime time. This is that last hour of dark.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Before dark.
And I just know something's going to come in. I'm in a climber.
Yeah, you're over somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm half
So
mile.
you're
like,
not
I do
really
not
wanting
wanna
to get
come.
there.
And I'm like,
Oh,
so
no.
now she wants me to come. And I'm like, are you scared? She's like, yes, come now. I'm like, oh, great. You're kidding me right now.
Yeah.
you're killing me.
Right. Because so I have to climb down my climber, secure it, get my stuff, run quarter mile, half mile out
Well,
to
you
my
took
quad.
the quad.
Yeah, but I had to get out to my quad.
Okay.
So down the hill, lickety pringle, get on my quad, and I rear up the road, and I come sliding into her spot. Leave my
I can
bow,
see
leave my
it.
pack, and it's right at perfect killing time. But it's over because
Yeah, you're done. You're
Yeah.
right.
You're in savior mode.
He sacrificed for me.
So I come flying down the trail. I have nothing with me, just me and my flashlight.
No, let me back up and say,
Oh, hey, back up and say.
I got on the radio and I said, now I look up and oh my God, there's an elk standing right there. I thought, oh my God. So I get on the radio. I can hear him coming down the trail. I say, Troy, stop. There's an elk. Of course, he doesn't really hear me because
my
his
radio.
hearing is horrible.
Yeah.
Right.
Huh?
And
And he's running. And
So-
he's out of breath.
he's
Yeah.
he's out of breath, and I can hear him coming down. So I see this elk. I range him. He's 20 yards, 20 yards away. So I'm like, okay, I'm going. I'm shaking because I'm like, oh my God, can I do this? Can I pull back my bow? The tree's right there. Can I do this? Well, I did it, and I pulled up, and boom, shot it. And all of a sudden, now that's when you come down the trail.
So I'm running down the trail, and I hear the, and it sounded like a guy to me. I'm like,
Oh, now we got a weird deal going.
no,
on.
that's weird. Okay, so now I'm standing on this trail going, I don't know what I just heard, but to me it sounds like a guy. So now I got to be the one that stands in the middle of the woods and goes, hello?
He goes, who's
Right?
in there?
You just don't ever talk. We don't talk.
Yeah, not out loud.
My dad would kick me.
Yeah.
So ever since I was a little kid. So I'm like, hello? Somebody there? Because it sounded like a guy for whatever reason. Well, fast forward, it was actually the air coming out of this elk that she just punched. So I hear hoofs stomp off. I hear the elk take off, and so I walk up to her tree stand, and I went, what is that? It's an elk? And she goes, no, it was a moo cow.
No, back
Yeah.
up. I said, I shot a cow. You said,
Oh, yeah. And I looked up at her and I said, like a moo cow? And she goes, yeah.
Because she didn't hear the
And
movie.
you're
I didn't
thinking-
hear the moo
Yeah.
part.
Because there are cattle up in there. And I'm like,
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's free
you know,
range.
so
In Portland.
And I look up at her.
Yeah, in
with my
Portland.
hands out, and I'm like, honey, why'd you shoot a moo cow? Because all I can think about is how much money this is going to cost you.
Right. Now you're going to be.
This is
Now,
gonna
yeah,
be
you're going to get a
expensive.
ticket. You're going to have to pay somebody
I
for
was
their
like,
cow.
no. I should never have left her alone.
No,
And
yeah.
she goes, no.
I go, a cow elk, isn't that what you call them?
I'm like, oh.
He goes, oh, thank God. Oh, my God, get down here. I mean, he was more excited than I was.
So cool.
So I go down my stand,
I'm
get
like,
my
"Where-"
bow. He goes, you need to knock an arrow. He goes, well, where is it? And I said, right between those two trees. He gets up his binoculars, and he was like, holy shit, you did shoot one. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, it didn't even go 20 yards. She
No.
already shot it.
Oh, that's so cool.
it was perfect for her first elk.
It was awesome.
Yep. Sounds like she had a banner year for
Oh yeah.
never hunting and got it done.
Yeah.
Now I'm ready for bigger and better things.
Yeah, that's right. So that's how she came with Troy then.
Yeah.
Because he was the rep for Benchmade to the ladies camp in Utah last year, and that's where we met him. And she had a ball at the ladies camp. Let's talk about the ladies camp a little bit. What do you guys think of that?
Ladies camp was so much fun. I can't wait to go back again. There was so much I learned. So many good friendships came out of that. Just listening to those stories around the campfire.
Yes.
Oh, man,
like I was bawling sitting around there listening to their stories. Yeah.
Troy was worse, but
I mean,
Randy kept wiping my tears, but
yeah, I mean, everything that I learned there, the best part I took out of that too was the pistols. Like Troy tried teaching me, but
that's why we have a ladies camp.
Yeah,
right,
you don't learn from your significant other because
they don't listen to you.
No,
right, and vice versa.
it works both ways.
Yeah, and so
it does.
There was an instructor, Debbie Donahue, and she was totally awesome. I mean, she kicked Troy out, told him to go on his way.
Go away.
And she took me aside, and she worked with me, and I never felt so comfortable, and I never thought I would ever feel that way. But having a woman teach you, or somebody other than your significant other, is the way to go, and I learned a lot from her.
Well, that's really the whole thing behind women's camp is for women to teach women, right?
Yeah.
It is.
It's the women that I saw at this camp in Utah they just really appreciated that the pressure was off.
Yes.
They didn't have to perform. They could just go there and they could learn. And it was okay not to know.
No, exactly.
It's okay to ask questions. No questions are stupid.
Yeah.
And, if you don't do it right the first time, you're going to do it again.
Yep,
I mean,
and you'll get it.
They took care of the women so well.
It takes care of the
really
embarrassment.
amazing.
And that's where, so many people, it don't matter what you're doing. It's like going to the gym overweight or whatever, and they're embarrassed to be there. But actually, it shouldn't be. Everybody are proud to see them there and having, trying.
Right.
And that's the same. It don't matter what you do. People don't look at it quite the way you think they do usually.
Right.
And so here at the ladies camp, there are men instructors. I'm one of them. But they're you're not teaching your significant other, just like Shelly says. The people come and tell Candy, "Oh, your husband is the most patient man. He's so."
And I said,
Candy,
"Really?"
She's looking at him like, "You have lost your mind."
And they told me that about him when he taught one of the classes.
Yeah.
Because it's different. It's
so
way different.
great.
Well, and when I was with Threat Dynamics before I started with Benchmade, that's what I did. I taught mainly women how to shoot a pistol. And we did it over and over and over and over again, and I really understand how to teach women how to shoot. But if there's women present that can do the same thing I can do, it's just better. I mean, it is.
Yeah.
But I was able to jump in for half a day one time with Leslie, and that's really her name, by the way.
Leslie.
So, and I had a ball, and I was able to help some of the ladies shoot, and so it was fun to be able to interact that way with them as well as just doing
it is fun.
knives.
Well, we have a ball. I have more. The first time we did the ladies camp.
Yeah, he doubted it.
Yes, we've been doing it now for 5 years. We started in Oregon, and we've done last year the first time in Utah. So now we've doing Oregon and Utah. But I did doubt it. I was like, I don't know. It just sounds like a lot of work.
It is,
and that's what it was for, because we're not getting paid to do it. We're just doing it to help people, and so on. So, but I had an absolute ball, and it's like you guys say, the stories around the campfires in the evening, and you hear why these ladies came. They don't all come just strictly to learn. No. They want to learn.
Yeah.
But there's something, so many of them in their life. It's just, and it brings them together. It brings healing. It's just strange. I don't even get it, but it works, and it's amazing.
Yeah, there's definitely higher power working on that camp.
Yes, it's cool.
It really does bring those women together, and they talk about things that they won't talk about with anybody else in their life.
And they haven't talked to anybody, and they're just releasing
come out, and it's just they're so sad, but yet it's so healing that it's just such a wonderful thing. You can't really describe it, sitting here on a podcast, but you sit around a campfire and listen to them talk. It makes you a believer in it.
And they're so comfortable to be able to be so open when they're there.
Yeah,
we have to keep it that way.
It frees them up.
Yeah,
it frees them. It's a release.
It really does.
Yeah.
And then they're learning too. I mean, they get it.
Oh
get
yeah,
out
no,
there.
they learn. Yeah, they get.
Randy tries to teach them something, and
The basics. I mean, trust me, it's just the basics. All we can do is whet their appetite.
But it
There's
works.
so many different
yeah.
things,
Right.
so they
It
will
works.
Yeah.
have the confidence to go out because it don't matter what you're doing. Confidence is everything.
It is.
Everything.
Yeah.
And it
is.
doesn't
So-
even matter. When we first started, I thought some of these women, very similar to you, have never even picked up, a rifle or a bow before. And they're going out and they're actually harvesting an animal. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, it just
Yeah.
gives me goosebumps because you've just changed their life. Not just did you give them the skills and the ability to go out and not be afraid in the woods, but to harvest an animal and put it on their table in their freezers for their family. It just, it's like you complete the full circle of life.
Yeah.
And it's
it was
wonderful.
fun this year. I of course, I became friends with all the women at ladies camp. It was just, it's amazing the friendships and the bonds that you make there. But so
permanent.
I'd watch them on Instagram, over the hunting season, and watch them out in the woods and hunting and with their significant others. And some were very successful, some were not.
Right.
Like
But
me.
they
It's
were
just
out
life.
there.
That's
Right.
all life. Yeah.
But they're still out there doing it every day, and they're not just driving a road. I mean,
No,
they're
he's
in the
getting
woods,
out
they're
there and being
backcountry.
serious hunting. Yeah.
Yeah, they're getting it done, and it's really interesting to see the transformations that
Yes.
you get
Yeah.
out of that camp.
Oh, it is cool.
And it's not just the harvest. It is
No.
the experience of being out there. Brooke Smith, that she started 2 years ago, and she's like one of those that I always bring up because she had never shot a bow before, and in 1 year she won the national train to hunt.
Wow.
But she also has a blog that's called More Than a Hunt, and that's what it is. She just busted her rear, for a couple of years, and she still has not harvested an animal with her bow.
It's not about the harvest. It never
It's
has been,
not.
at least for me. I mean, if it was about the harvest for me, I would be doing something else because I'm not the most successful guy. We try hard, but you know what? It doesn't always work out, and that's okay.
It's the experience.
It's the waking up, being on top of a mountain, watching the sunrise with the fog below you.
Oh, yeah.
And the sun coming up, and most people don't ever get to experience things like that.
That's what I've said so much.
Exactly.
I've been so blessed in my life I've seen things that most people are never going to see.
Right.
And
Right.
it's, I tell Candy about my little spots. I have little spots in different
I do too.
states that I have been at, and it's like, I've got to take her to these spots someday just to see. It's not easy to get to that spot, but it's cool.
I got lots of spots too.
It's cool.
I think probably more than anything, it's when you are out there and it's just you and God and nature, there's nothing better in the whole world. And you can't you can't explain to somebody.
No, you can't explain.
No.
It's just that feeling.
So
And she's
peaceful.
She's just now getting into that work.
And that's what's so cool.
Yeah, I love
being out
it.
in the woods and seeing the different things that you see that you only see if you're out there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't
Right.
you don't get to experience some of God's creations unless you're actually out there
In it.
in it.
And that's what
6:30 in the
And we
morning.
can video it. That when we
Yeah.
first started the show, that was my goal. Was I wanted to be the camera person even more than the hunter because I thought I was capturing things that we could share with the whole world. And yes, you are, but you're not.
You still
'Cause you
can't
can't
see
take
it.
that
You
feeling,
can't,
you know?
and you
Right.
can't, right? And you can't. Don't matter how good you are, just you can't bring it all together. I mean,
Yeah.
some of them are
Bring
a lot better
pieces.
than us, that's
Yeah.
for sure. But at least we try to keep it real, and that's all you can do. It's
Usually we just make people laugh.
Well, we do a lot of that when we're together.
Yeah, we do.
We do.
that's good.
We
That's
definitely
good.
laugh. That's the beauty of the outdoors is being with friends and family.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is.
That's
you know,
right. Yeah.
And making it fun and enjoyable. I go to elk camp every year with not only Shelly but a best friend and my two nephews. And watching them, they're just starting.
Yeah.
And watching them grow and become
Right.
hunters and really to where they just love the outdoors and that's what they want to do. They want
Right.
to be
Pretty
out there.
cool.
It's fun to watch.
It
Right.
is.
It is.
It's fun to watch, like Nick this year, when
Yeah.
he hearing the elk bugle.
Oh,
I mean, he
And
was
their
like a
eyes.
little kid.
their
Oh, yeah.
eyes, yeah.
Oh yeah, and I was too. I mean, that last day of hunting this year, they were bugling all over the place,
It's pretty cool.
and it was just so awesome.
And it
Until you
never
hear
gets
for the
old.
first time.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, it's the strangest thing. You just
No.
can't explain until you've experienced it. And
Yeah.
the only way you can experience is to get out there and push yourself beyond what your comfort
Yeah.
zone is sometimes.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it's, how do you be successful being out there?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
keep you're out there enough, something's going to happen.
We were talking earlier about Matt Elliott, and he's the director of.
Benchmade, the outfit you work with?
Yeah. No, well,
That's what I was thinking.
no, he
Oh, okay.
he runs our marketing department.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. And he's a great friend. Matt and I have been friends even before Benchmade. But so we used to hunt together, and Matt came up elk hunting with us for first few years. And I'll never forget. We're talking about that experience, that first bugle. I had Matt out, and we were chasing a bull, and I get him out on this point, and I fell back, and I let out a scream, and this bull turned around, and he was close, and he turned around and he screamed in Matt's face, and it was the deepest, darkest growl, just scream at him.
Rip.
And Matt turned around and looked at me, and his eyes, I swear, his eyes were this big.
Biggest saucer.
Biggest saucers. And he was just like, holy smokes. And he was hooked. I mean, we didn't end up shooting that bull, but he walked back to me, and he's like, that was the coolest thing I've ever experienced.
No, I know.
Yeah.
And
I know.
you just know when you see that look on someone's face, they're done.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're in.
Oh, yeah.
It's all over.
It's all over.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's cool. Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Sure is.
So,
yeah.
well, I suppose we ought to wrap this thing up, but
Yeah.
been fun visiting with you guys
It's
about
been
this, and I'm
fun.
sure
Yeah.
we'll be doing a little more in the future.
I'm
I'm
sure.
sure
One of these
we
days,
will.
I'll give you a seminar on how to kill elk.
Okay, sounds
Okay.
good.
Yeah. Because I know you have trouble.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it.
All right.
Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right,
Bye.
Hope you enjoyed this week's podcast, and remember, it's not always perfect, but it is always real with Extreme Desire. Please always remember we cannot continue without social media these days. Once again, we ask that you like us, Randy and Candy Yao's Extreme Desire, on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And please check out our website, extremedesiretv.com. See you next week, same place, same time.